Hello, welcome to Spotlight, beaming creative joy over the Isle of Man this autumn.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
This evening, we hear about local talent being highlighted in the penultimate concert in the Ramsey Music Society series for this year. Get your silver pants, tassels and dancing shoes on for an ABBA-themed Drag Brunch. And I catch up with Biosphere Artist-in-Residence Amy Howse, the soundologist, as she nears the end of her residency. Remember, do get in touch with any creative artistic endeavours you might be involved in, planning, hoping to create, or would really like to put in the spotlight. Poetic, theatrical, musical, literary, ceramic, sculpture, drag, sound. That's what Amy does. Film, mime, social media, all the rest. You know the address. spotlight@manxradio.com or Howard Kane with an E at manxradio.com. Love to hear from you, whatever you're doing, and let's see if we can get you featured on the programme. Now, someone who did get in contact just recently was the indefatigable Olga Versij from the Ramsey Music Society, who dropped me a line to say that the penultimate concert in this year's series, 2025, will be taking place just next Monday. So we needed to be quick. That's the 22nd, I think, isn't it, of September. And she says it's something a little different.
This time indeed, on Monday the 22nd, we again are proud to present Young Talents of Men, which we try to showcase every few years when we have enough young participants who are doing high grades or diplomas. And there are only two criteria that I apply when selecting musicians. One is that they have to be young, under 20, and then that they have to do high grades, grade 8 or diploma level pieces. Other than that, the repertoire is really very wide. Sometimes pieces are actual grade pieces, sometimes they're their own choice pieces, but they are about the same level of difficulty as they would be playing for their qualifications. And it's admirable to see young people developing and striving to achieve in the field of music.
And as we know, we do tend to have a very high standard of musicianship here on the island.
We sometimes have people who are winners of the Young Singer of Man or various winners of guild categories. So this time in September, we hope to present first time quite a variety of the woodwind and brass, mainly brass instruments this time, which is unusual because mainly it's piano and voice, but this time we are lucky to have several brass players.
So give us sort of an idea of what we can actually hear on the evening.
So we have 3 young trumpet players who will be playing pieces that mainly jazz orientated, jazz and rhythm blues style, but also some classical pieces like a Haydn concerto, for instance, for trumpet. And we have a trombonist as well, a young girl trombonist, who is also going to perform for us this time. It's the first time we had a student trombonist doing solo pieces, which is fantastic. And this is a very widespread from schools, different schools on the island, not just from one school, which is a pleasure to see how music develops across the island and that in different areas they're still striving to get to the top.
So quite a mixed sort of programme then.
Apart from brass, we have 3 singers, all young ladies, who are very good standard indeed, and they will be doing pieces from musicals or people from films, and that will be something that people will certainly enjoy because they all do music theatre, and they are acting while performing, which is always a pleasure too. And we have this time just one pianist who is doing diploma, and unfortunately the second one who meant to take part, who is also doing diploma, then had some issues that he has to attend on the day, unavoidable issues, and therefore we just will have one pianist. I'll be accompanying instrumentalists and singers myself, and I will be presenting the concert.
And so is this something that the Music Society likes to do, as you say, support young talent coming through on the island?
The original society, when it started in 1974, had the aim of promoting young performers, not just from the Isle of Man, but also from the UK. And the aim was to invite students or recent graduates. Then, society eventually developed into a very high-level society that invited really famous musicians who already achieved a lot in their careers. But for the last 5-6 years, we are trying to get back to our roots and to invite young musicians. We also liaise with the Royal Northern College of Music, and we try to invite either recent graduates or current students of the Royal Northern College to the Isle of Man, which brings, again, young people to perform and allows people to see the stars of the future.
Absolutely, and I think you're absolutely right there. Sometimes you can see people now, and 5, 8, 10 years time, they could be on the global stage, and you think, I saw them there first in Ramsey. Wonderful.
And sometimes they would not come when they're so famous. We would not be able to afford them, so we need to catch them while we can. And some performers really appreciate coming to the island. It's nearly like coming abroad. You have to take an extra leg of the journey, and then makes them feel to experience this concert tour feel coming to the island from the UK, which also trains them for the future tours, which is another good point of their travelling to the Isle of Man from the UK.
So tickets, how do people, if they'd like to come along? It sounds like it's a great evening. As you say, some wonderful young talent there. They may be young, but there's no doubting the talent all be performing at a good high standard. Best place for tickets?
Tickets are £15. Under 18s or in full education are free. And £15 at the door. We don't have yet all this Eventbrite or various clever computer programs where people can buy online. You can pay cash. We don't even have a sum-up machine. You can pay cash at the door. So £15, round sum, prepare your £5 in advance, but our treasurer is always ready to give you change. And then the format is 45 minutes approximately each part, with an interval where we have tea and biscuits and a chance to socialize also with performers. And also, of course, with like-minded people who like music. And I also would like to add that although they are young performers, as I'm myself a professional musician, I have very high criteria to select them. So I can vouch that the level is really very good. So it shouldn't be taken for granted that just because they're young performers, they're performers who are just young. But they do perform very well indeed.
Excellent. And we should just say that this isn't the last of the season. There's one more in October, but will you come back a little closer to the time and tell us about that, and maybe we can cast forward to 2026 then as well?
Just a little head up on that, although we will have a chance to discuss it in more detail. Our next concert is on Monday, the 20th of October, and it will be a solo piano recital by an Italian-Croatian pianist who is coming specially to perform on the Isle of Man. Very interesting program, but that will be divulged later on.
Excellent. Look forward to speaking to you before that one. As someone who struggles to plan a few weeks ahead, I'm always impressed at how Olga is planning a year ahead. Marvellous stuff. Told you she's indefatigable. We'll hear more from Olga in a couple of weeks ahead of that last concert of the year and, of course, casting ahead to 2026.
Spotlight. Brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
Now, whilst I remember, I was going to have a chat with the Secretary of the Isle of Man Art Society today. That's Linda Quirk, about a forthcoming event they have. Sadly, as is sometimes the case in life, more often than we would like for many, I dare say, work got in the way, doesn't it always? So you'll just have to listen up to me for a bit longer to give you details with probably considerably less flair than Linda. Now, namely, if you have ever fancied putting paint to paper, brush to paper, pencil to paper, crayon to paper, or even maybe cutting into lino or such like, working in silks, perhaps doing ceramics, who knows? But now is your chance to find out more, maybe about all of the above, as the Isle of Man Art Society is holding an open day this very weekend, namely 2 to 4 p.m, Saturday the 20th, at their HQ studio. That's Ty Ellen off Withington Road in Douglas. Bit tricky to find if you're around there. Go to Withington Road. It's sort of down a lane down the back if you've not been there before. Great spot. So if perhaps you've dabbled in the past and want to reignite your passion, or maybe you're recently retired and looking for a new hobby, or just always fancied doing some form of art but just had no idea where to start or where to go, now you know. Head to the Isle of Man Art Society Open Day this Saturday between 2 and 4. Go and have a chat, have a look-see. Super friendly bunch. And I'm told there's tea, coffee and cake on offer. And I'm not just talking about a still life to paint. What's not to like? Hopefully we'll chat to Linda soon in the not too distant future about other arty happenings there. But get along and check it out. It might be a lifelong passion you'll start. Dancing queens, or kings for that matter, get your glad rags on this weekend. Before the art event, I think. You can do both if you like. It is time for another joyously camped lunchtime frolic as another drag brunch takes place, showcasing the island's ever-burgeoning talented drag scene. It's Drag Gym, but at a totally different time of day. I heard from two of the best on the scene, Owen Atkinson, a.k.a. Fenella Beach, and Ashton Gibson, a.k.a., of course, Nona Binary.
So the idea is to be able to put on shows and have people come out at a time when not everyone wants to go out in the evening, not everyone wants to have a big night out. And so it's nice to put on shows kind of during the day, and people can drink during the day if they want to, turn it into a bit of a fun afternoon in that way, or they can stay sober, and that's fine too. And either way, they get their evenings free as well. So it's a nice little daytime show for everybody if they don't want to go out in the evening, or if they do, then they can come to our show and then go out later.
So are the brunches, do they take the sort of same format as an evening show for you, or totally different?
So it's quite similar. There's a little more time to chat in between. They can be a little bit more low key. We've got a lot of time chatting with the audience, going round, welcoming everybody at the beginning of the show. Obviously, as well, it's a brunch, so there's food as well, so they get to eat their food before the show starts, so that's a bit more of a social beginning. But then we're still delivering the same, hopefully excellent quality of a show afterwards as well.
And what's your role in this, Ashton? Are you taking part? Are you doing the meeting and greeting, performing, all the above?
Yes, all of the above, definitely. I have been alongside Owen as a producer for the Drag Brunches now for a good while, probably almost a year. Yeah.
At least a year,
and I love doing it. I think that one of the things that makes brunch really different from our evening shows is it's a very interactive experience. There is raffle, there is potential lip sync prizes, opportunities for stuff like that. So I think it encourages people to just let loose a little bit on a Saturday morning. And when else would you? Yeah.
So tell us about the next one coming up.
So the next one we're very excited about. The theme is ABBA, so it's an ABBA drag brunch. We're calling it Dancing Queens, of course, and that's going to be on the 20th of September on a Saturday. Kicks off. Doors are at 12, and goes for about 3 hours. Including getting all your food and stuff. It's £15 for a ticket, which includes a little welcome drink, or you can do 25 if you want to include your food as well. And that's kicking off. Very soon on the 20th. We're very excited. ABBA is a theme I've been wanting to do for ages, and it's gonna be high camp. It's gonna be a lot of sequins. And we've got a bigger cast than ever before. In fact, we've got 5 of us. So there's the 2 of us, so Fenella Beach and Nona Binary. And then we've got Vila Fierce, of course, the singing diva, as well as Mathia and Dahlia, who is making her drag brunch debut.
I was going to say, I've not heard of Dahlia.
Yeah. So she's been around on the island wanting to do bits of drag here and there. But first time performing at Kiki's. We're very excited to have her.
Oh, wow.
She's wonderful as well. So if you want to see the drag debut of somebody who's probably going to be famous eventually, you should definitely come.
Yeah, so we all did a show together there was supposed to be an outdoor Pride event happening at the end of August. Unfortunately, because of the weather, that didn't get to go ahead. But we did a last minute show at Sam Webb's on that same date, and we got to see Dahlia perform there, and she's pretty
She's very
extraordinary.
good.
The stunts and the tricks and the splits and the cartwheels and all of the above, I'm sure if we can squeeze them into in between the tables and chairs, and that will be very very exciting.
So is the concept that people come up ABBA-fied?
It's up to everybody if they want to wear fun outfits, actually. That is completely encouraged and welcome.
100%,
yeah,
yes,
but
yes,
you
yes.
don't have to either. Either way, I think that no matter what you're wearing, you will have a great time. So
Yes. But we do like to create a space where people can wear and express themselves in whichever way they want. And yes, we highly encourage sequins and flares and
Wigs.
large sleeves and wigs and whatever you want to wear. Or if you want to wear black and that's it, then that's fine too.
we'll be wearing enough sequins for everyone in the room. I'm
Absolutely.
Sure.
And music, I mean, I take it there's music in there somewhere. Will it be ABBA-fied music? Well,
Yeah, so it's ABBA exclusively. So only ABBA on the playlist and on the performances. We're hitting. We think we've pretty much hit every single ABBA song you're going to want to hear at a drag brunch. It's going to be performed by one of us.
All of the crowd favourites and the club classics, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So plenty of join-in ability on this. Is it just sort of
100%. Yeah. That's actually the great thing about brunch is that you're performing kind of amongst people as well. Obviously, it's less like the stage is here and the audience is there. You're
I was
kind
thinking
of
that. Is it
moving around.
more cabaret and you're in and out and...
It's
Very
very
that.
cabaret, yeah. So you're moving around between the tables, so there's a little bit more opportunity for audience interaction, and you get to have moments with each different table. So it's very much more interactive, and people feel that they can be involved in the show.
And is it more difficult to actually stage these things, as you say, in a sort of late morning brunch scenario? Because you think of any, like drag and burlesque and any of this sort of cabaret stuff, you're always thinking late night normally, rather than sort of early morning, mid morning. Is it a different sort of mindset? Do you get a very different crowd?
We get some of the same people and some different people. So generally speaking, most of our events will get people who've been before and people who haven't been before. And I would say that's the same with brunch as well. There are some people who it's their first time coming to any drag event on the island, and they thought, and they felt like a daytime event was going to be for them. So it's very much a mix. But I think it works pretty well during the day. And also we love working with Kiki's as well. But it's it's a very busy venue, and they're always booked up in the evenings. And they've got their stuff going on in the evening. So it's nice to be able to bring more people into the venue at a time when normally they wouldn't be quite so busy as well.
Yeah.
We want it to remain accessible as well to anybody who works like nights, anybody who has children.
That's true.
But you still deserve to come out and see great entertainment and have fun. So I think it's the best of both worlds, doing some brunches and then sticking with some classic evening shows.
And can I just say, with the children, obviously give them a babysitter. It's very much an 18+ event, but you can leave them with your partner or with parents or with a babysitter during the day and come out and party with us and then go back later if you want.
Definitely.
And do you get, again, the people who are sort of audience-wise, are they all sort of into the drag scene, or do you get some people who just sort of come along out of curiosity to see what it's all about?
I feel like we definitely get some people who have never seen drag before and are very curious about it, especially when we do themed events. Like I think the last brunch we did that was so directly themed, we did Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And there were definitely a few people there who hadn't seen drag before but were just Britney fans, and they wanted to be around her music. So I think that'll happen this time too.
Yeah.
We're hoping for some ABBA enthusiasts to turn up as well.
I was going to say, I'm thinking you're going to get some ABBA people there, aren't you? Just thinking, what the hell, dress up, go out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
oh, see what you did
Sorry.
there. See what you did there. And just talking, because you mentioned that there's the debut of a new drag artist coming up. Is and I know we often mention this, the drag scene still expanding, do you think? I mean, do you think there's a sort of a peak for the drag scene over here, or do you think it's something that can carry on indefinitely?
I think it's growing and evolving all the time. I mean, like I was saying about being able to put on a show in Sam Webb's. That's a venue that we've not. They did a Pride event I think about a month ago. They've got new management in there, and they're very keen to get more drag stuff going on in there. So we were very happy when they jumped in last minute to help us put on a show the day that we were supposed to be performing on the outdoor stage on the quay. And they've been very enthusiastic about getting more drag in there in the future. So that's definitely something to look out for. And there's more performers wanting to participate in those events.
Yeah, I never thought I'd do drag at Sam Webb's, and it just shows how great it is when new management can come in and completely just turn a venue around. I think that me and all of my queer friends have a very different opinion now of Sam Webb's than we did before
absolutely.
It was taken over. So it's really good.
Yeah. And is it harder to go in like you say, in someone like Sam Webb's? Is it a more difficult place to perform for you?
Honestly, no. The stage area in Sam Webb's is actually great.
Yeah.
I think that I felt very protected by the people who ran the establishments. There were definitely a few confused straight people who didn't know what they'd walked in on. Yeah. But I still didn't feel like I wasn't upset about that. I was just welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always bring people with us wherever we perform, like there's always if it's in a new venue, there'll always be
our core audience.
Our core audience. We bring people along, and then they get introduced to the new venue, and then that can bring a new fun atmosphere for sure.
Marvellous. And details online if people want to find out more, can they go to your websites or
yes,
social media?
So if you go onto my social media, if you just search for Fenella Beach on Instagram or on Facebook, all the link is plastered everywhere. And then and that's where you'll find all the information about this show and anything else upcoming in the future.
Same. My Instagram is Nona Binary, and if you can't find that, look around town because I spent ages putting up posters for this brunch, so they'll be there in Strand Street.
Douglas, you'll find some posters and QR codes around and about.
Definitely.
Great. Dancing Queen the night away, as they say. Hope all goes well, and we'll touch base soon and see how everything's going.
Thank you very
so
much. Thank you.
As someone who not only went to the ABBA Void show in London, but did so in full ABBA garb and travelled there on the tube, I feel more than qualified to go along. But I do think I'd be outcamped. Last but by no means least this evening, the Manx Wildlife Trust Biosphere Artist in Residence, the wonderful position which combines artistic creativity and environmental and cultural awareness to celebrate and highlight our nation biosphere here on the Isle of Man. And current BAIR Amy Howse is coming towards the end of her residency. I caught up with her via WhatsApp. Yes, she is that busy at the moment, to hear how things had been going in recent months and a little bit about her final flourish in the position.
I didn't really anticipate just how transformational this opportunity would be, or just how much it would deepen my connection with our island. It's really been an amazing experience to be able to improve my knowledge in the area of sound and to make new connections and collaborations. The residency's really stretched my skills and expand my knowledge and connections in ways that I wouldn't ever have expected.
Was it something that you were aware of or perhaps worked within before actually taking on the role, i.e. the sort of being aware of what Biosphere Isle of Man was?
Yes, I was aware of the Biosphere Isle of Man. I have done, so I'm a sound therapist and I've worked with sound in nature before. So I had that connection with the biosphere on a sound level from doing outdoor sound baths for a couple of years before I took on the residency. So in that way, I already had quite a connection with the biosphere.
And just clarify for those who perhaps might not know, when you say an outdoor sound bath, what does that actually entail?
So an outdoor sound bath is where I set up my instruments, which are instruments from the crystal bowls, the gongs, and percussion instruments in special places in nature. So, for example, I've done sound baths at the Ramsey Woodland Hairpin Park, which is the Manx Wildlife Trust Reserve. And then I invite people to come and listen to the sounds of nature, but also blend the sounds of nature with the sound bath instruments to create an immersive meditative experience that helps people connect to our landscape and our biosphere, but also to themselves as well. Just some moments of stillness and deep listening.
And also I think there's been some plant sonification. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Yes, so plant sonification has been one of my favourite parts of the residency. Through plant biofeedback, so where there's sensors put onto, for example, the leaf of a plant, I've been able to, through very clever devices mainly from Music of the Plants, who are actually sponsoring part of this residency very kindly, their devices have helped me to translate the data from a plant, so maybe the movement of water within the leaf, into sound and music. So it's quite a complicated process in terms of what the device does, and then I've been able to set the parameters of how the plant sounds in terms of pitch and instrument that the plant represents.
And is that something you had any experience of prior to becoming the Biosphere Artist in Residence?
No, it's a completely new. That's been the main learning curve, I'd say. That's quite new, very new to me. Over this last year, something that I was introduced to a few years ago by a sound engineer on the island called Seb Fostel, and he actually introduced me to the concept of sonification, particularly with plants. And it's just gone on from there, really. It's a very interesting way to listen to the hidden world of nature, and it's an amazing way to connect with plants, as well as brainwaves, which is another thing that I've looked at as part of the residencies, seeing how people's brainwaves change in response to sound, particularly sound baths in nature.
You're coming towards the end of your year now in residence. So do you think either the sonification or indeed anything else of the experience through the year is something which either you can take into your own work or has influenced your work as you carry on your own sort of journey and your own work post Biosphere residence?
Absolutely. So though the residency is drawing to a close, it's definitely not the end. It feels like just the beginning, actually, of exploring sound in more and more depth. Another part of the residency has been taking field recordings from different ecosystems in our biosphere and turning those into a soundscape. And that soundscape work and field recording has been another fabulous learning curve, and another thing that I would like to deep dive into after the residency ends. It kind of feels like the work that I've done over the last year is a tiny seedling that's been nurtured this year, but now it has roots and shoots reaching upward, and I feel like with continued connection and collaboration, that's been actually a really big part of the residency as well. All of these experiences and knowledge that I've gained will continue to grow into something larger, and something that will continue to bring people together, help us to listen more deeply, and remind us that we're part of a living, breathing, sounding biosphere and planet, and helping us to make that connection more regularly.
Any particular highlights for you during the year?
I'm really looking forward to my final event, which is on the 28th of September. That's bringing together the plant sonification. It's showing my film with the accompanying soundscape, and I'm collaborating with quite a few different people to bring that event together. So I'm thinking that will be the main highlight. I've got a lovely audience as well. So yeah, I think I'm anticipating that the best is yet to come.
Where's that taking place?
It's taking place at Laxey Glen in the pavilion there on the 28th of September.
And is it an open event or is it sort of invites only on that one?
It's a ticketed event, but it is now sold out. There is a waiting list.
And just finally, anyone, obviously, as you say, you're moving on, you'll carry on. There's going to be a new Biosphere artist in residence. I think recruitment is just coming towards the end now. Who's going to be obviously taking your place? Clearly, they might not be working in sound and the same way that you've been. But what would you say to anyone, artist in any sphere, really, who was considering this sort of role?
I've experienced more than I ever imagined. I feel like I've really made the most of the opportunities that have popped up as part of the residency, and created opportunity as well to collaborate, to form new connections, friendships, to learn new skills, from artistic skills to business strategy skills. So it's been a very broad learning experience. So I would say if you're considering it, just go for it. I wouldn't change the whirlwind and the learning and what comes next for anything.
Recruitment is still open if you're interested in becoming the next BAIR, Biosphere Artist in Residence. Who knows who it could be or what sort of art we'll be talking about, whether it's photography or painting or sound in Army's case, videographers. We've had all sorts, but do be quick if you want to get your application in as it closes on the 21st of September, which is this Sunday, so don't hang around. That's about it for now. We'll be back next week when we'll be hearing about a wonderful short film reimagining the legend of the More the Do. See you then. And in the meantime, be good, and whatever you're doing, be creative about it. Hey Mo.